Chapter 8. All the commandment which I command you this day shall you observe to do, that you may live, and multiply, and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore to your fathers. You shall remember all the way which the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness, that he might humble you, to prove you, to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. He humbled you, and allowed you to hunger, and fed you with manna which you didn't know, neither did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread only, but by everything that proceeds out of the mouth of the Lord does man live. Your clothing did not grow old on you, neither did your foot swell these 40 years. You shall consider in your heart that as a man chastens his son, so the Lord your God chastens you. You shall keep the commandments of the Lord your God, to walk in his ways, and to fear him. For the Lord your God brings you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of springs, and springs flowing forth in valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley, and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive trees and honey, a land in which you shall eat bread without scarceness, you shall not lack anything in it, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you may dig copper. You shall eat and be full, and you shall bless the Lord your God for the good land which he has given you. Beware lest you forget the Lord your God, in not keeping his commandments, and his ordinances, and his statutes, which I command you this day, lest, when you have eaten and are full, and have built good houses and lived in them, and when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold is multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, then your heart be lifted up, and you forget the Lord your God, who brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, who led you through the great and terrible wilderness, in which there were fiery serpents and scorpions, and thirsty ground where there was no water, who brought you forth water out of the rock of flint, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers didn't know, that he might humble you, and that he might prove you, to do you good at your latter end. And lest you say in your heart, my power and the might of my hand has gotten me this wealth. But you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers, as at this day. It shall be, if you shall forget the Lord your God, and walk after other gods, and serve them, and worship them, I testify against you this day that you shall surely perish. As the nations that the Lord makes to perish before you, so shall you perish, because you wouldn't listen to the voice of the Lord your God. Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. For he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler, and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, under his wings you will take refuge. His faithfulness is your shield and rampart. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the reward of the wicked. For you, Yahweh, are my refuge. You have made the Most High your habitation. No evil shall happen to you, neither shall any plague come near your dwelling. For he will give his angels charge over you, to guard you in all your ways. They will bear you up in their hands, so that you won't dash your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the young lion and the serpent underfoot. Because he has set his love on me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. I will satisfy him with long life, and show him my salvation. Chapter 36. Now it happened in the 14th year of King Hezekiah, that Sennacherib king of Assyria came up against all the fortified cities of Judah, and took them. The king of Assyria sent Rabshakeh from Lachish to Jerusalem to King Hezekiah with a great army. He stood by the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field. Then came forth to him Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, who was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah the son of Asaph the recorder. Rabshakeh said to them, Say now to Hezekiah, Thus says the great king, the king of Assyria, What confidence is this in which you trust? I say, your counsel and strength for war are but vain words. Now on whom do you trust that you have rebelled against me? Behold, you trust on the staff of this bruised reed, even on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all who trust on him. But if you tell me, We trust in the Lord our God, isn't that he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah has taken away, and has said to Judah and to Jerusalem, You shall worship before this altar? Now therefore please give pledges to my master the king of Assyria, and I will give you 2,000 horses if you are able on your part to set riders on them. How then can you turn away the face of one captain of the least of my master's servants, and put your trust on Egypt for chariots and for horsemen? Am I now come up without the Lord against this land to destroy it? The Lord said to me, Go up against this land and destroy it. Then said Eliakim and Shebna and Joah to Rabshakeh, Please speak to your servants in the Syrian language, for we understand it, and don't speak to us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people who are on the wall. But Rabshakeh said, Has my master sent me to your master and to you to speak these words? Has he not sent me to the men who sit on the wall, to eat their own dung and drink their own water with you? Then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language, and said, Hear the words of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus says the king, Don't let Hezekiah deceive you, for he will not be able to deliver you. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, The Lord will surely deliver us. This city shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Don't listen to Hezekiah, for thus says the king of Assyria, Make your peace with me, and come out to me, and eat every one of you from his vine, and every one of his fig tree, and drink you every one the waters of his own cistern, until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, a land of grain and new wine, a land of bread and vineyards. Beware lest Hezekiah persuade you, saying, The Lord will deliver us. Has any of the gods of the nations delivered his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and Arpad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim? Have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who are they among all the gods of these countries that have delivered their country out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? But they held their peace, and answered him not a word, for the king's commandment was, saying, Don't answer him. Then came Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, who was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah the son of Asaph the recorder to Hezekiah with their clothes torn, and told him the words of Rabshakeh.
I saw that the Lamb opened one of the 7 seals, and I heard one of the 4 living creatures saying, as with a voice of thunder, Come and see. And behold, a white horse, and he who sat on it had a bow. A crown was given to him, and he came forth conquering and to conquer. When he opened the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd living creature saying, Come. Another came forth, a red horse. To him who sat on it was given to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. There was given to him a great sword. When he opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd living creature say, Come and see. And behold, a black horse, and he who sat on it had a balance in his hand. I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying, a chonics of wheat for a denarius, and 3 chonics of barley for a denarius. Don't damage the oil and the wine." When he opened the 4th seal, I heard the 4th living creature saying, "Come and see." And behold, a pale horse, and he who sat on him, his name was Death. Hades followed with him, authority over 1/4 of the earth, to kill with the sword, with famine, with death, and by the wild animals of the earth was given to him. When he opened the 5th seal, I saw underneath the altar the souls of those who had been killed for the word of God and for the testimony of the Lamb which they had. They cried with a loud voice, saying, "How long, Master, the holy and true, do you not judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth?" A long white robe was given them. They were told that they should rest yet for a while until their fellow servants and their brothers, who would also be killed even as they were, completed their course. I saw when he opened the 6th seal, and there was a great earthquake. The sun became black as sackcloth made of hair, and the whole moon became as blood. The stars of the sky fell to the earth like a fig tree dropping its unripe figs when it is shaken by a great wind. The sky was removed like a scroll when it is rolled up. Every mountain and island were moved out of their places. The kings of the earth, the princes, the commanding officers, the rich, the strong, and every slave and free person hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountains. They told the mountains and the rocks, "Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who is able to stand?"